2 minutes. So, good morning. I wanted to pop in on your timeline this morning, whether you be on Twitter or if you catch me on YouTube or Facebook. I wanted to talk about these workstations because um, this is, we're going into the time. I think we've been in school 2 weeks here in Houston, and probably around the country, we're going in. You're probably going into somewhere about month one or month two, and some people are just getting started. So, what I wanted to do is talk about this whole thing about workstations. Now, don't get me wrong, I am not anti workstation, but I am against them stressing you out. And that's where I'm coming from today. And I have an article called The Five Ugly Truths About Workstations in Urban Education. And there are a lot of things that they don't tell you about workstations. They don't tell you at all. Workstations are not this magic cure. First of all, workstations are not even a part of the response to intervention program or process, rather. They are something to do while the teacher is in small group. And actually, the small group instruction that takes place in guided math workshop, those are not a part of response to intervention. A lot of times people get confused about this. They get confused about, well, I am doing small group. Well, small group, in order for it to be considered response to intervention, it is targeted, strategic, and it's based on data. And guided math workshop delivers instruction. It does not focus on gap closing. That's the difference between those two things. Well, I've seen teachers get stressed out about workstations and how their principals want them to do workstations and they want to see the kids in small group in a high needs area. 9 times out of 10, you're going to have some students that cannot work independently. And that's the truth about workstations. And it's an ugly truth, and people won't tell you that. And a lot of administrators, and I'm not administrator bashing, I'm trying to make you all aware. You're stressing your teachers out because you want them to do something that may have been done in an urban area, a suburban area with more affluent students. Students, know your population of students. Everything that's done in an affluent area, everything that's done in classrooms where they don't have the same demographic of students, they're not facing the same challenges, that does not mean that it's going to work with students who have more needs. And those needs that I'm talking about are those social emotional needs. Most kids, a lot of them are coming with a lot of social emotional learning deficits. And if you don't know what that is, I highly recommend that you look it up. There's a lot of information, especially on Pinterest. And there's also some websites dedicated to social emotional learning. And it's responsible decision making, actually building relationships. Our students sometimes don't come with that. And I'm not saying all of them don't come with that. I'm saying sometimes they have to be taught that. So I always ask the question, are the workstations for the students or are they more for the adults who are actually saying that the students need? Now I've done small group, and I believe in small group because small group works, and the response to intervention process actually works if you employ it correctly. But a lot of times, especially in elementary, they stress their teachers out because the focus is on how it looks and not the impact that it's making on the student learning. Workstations, I have not seen, and I've looked and scoured the internet for research, and most people will say, well, it's research based. No, it's not. Small group instruction is research based. It does not say anything about workstations. And I'm going to tell you this, a lot of times teachers that work in schools like mine where we have kids that are on like 10 different levels. Who's going to make workstations for 10 different levels? There's not enough time in the workday to even get that done. So it's really not even feasible for teachers. So if you're one of those teachers and from a veteran teacher, if you're a young teacher, I'm telling you, don't let the workstation stress you out this year, because there is not any research behind it that says that it moves students, it moves instruction. There's not any. It looks cute, and that's why a lot of times when I'm on Twitter, I use the hashtag no fluff pedagogy. So don't let them stress you out. Be intentional about your instruction. If you have to use guided math, make sure that it's for your students and not it's not for your cute Instagram photo of your students working in stations. Make sure that it is making an impact on your students. And here's I'm of the opinion, if I'm going to do anything in my classroom, I have to get grades from it. I Because I'm not going to let them sit over there and play and just not do anything. There has to be something intentional about it. If you work in a high needs area and you're under the stress of workstations, make sure that they're working for the students and not for the people in your class that's coming in your classroom and saying, well, our kids, look how they can work by themselves. But the kids, they're not learning anything. So if I'm going to next month write about how to manage workstations, some alternatives to all these different things that are being asked of teachers, some things that I have worked in my classroom. And if you follow me, if you read my blog post, you know I have worked with the most difficult students and I've gotten really good results with them. Teachers, if you're listening, sometimes you have to give pushback and advocate for your students. And that's what I do. And a lot of teachers are, well, they make us do that. Nobody can make you do anything because at the end of the day, your classroom, your name is on it. And that's what I tell people. People from the district office, they don't have any um, skin in the game because when those test scores come back or whatnot, your name is on it. You're being tracked. We get tracked in our district. I already know that. Anytime we move around our district, they can pull up all our standardized test scores from our previous years. As a matter of fact, it goes back to when I first started teaching middle school. So my thing is, if workstations are not working for you, advocate for your students and find something that works within the scope. No, I'm not telling you to actually not do them. I'm telling you to find something that actually works and is doable for you and the kids are getting what they need from it. So, if you have some questions and you want to or if you want to talk about this topic further, tweet to me, leave a comment in the comment section on Facebook, or if you're on um, YouTube, definitely leave a comment in the comment section, and I will respond just as soon as I can. So you all have a happy Thursday, and don't let it stress you out because at the end of the day, the achievement of the students matter. I'll see you all on my next live stream. Bye bye.